Hello there everyone, Arena here. Today we're going to be talking about the Kaldheim set, and I'm going to give you guys the top 10 most undervalued cards right now. Since it's a newer set, it's going to take a long time for these cards to reach the reconciliation phase and find its price point as time goes on. But I believe these are undervalued and will go up in the future because I believe that they have a niche mechanic or is a good valued card, and it's just really good for its converted mana cost. So let's just begin. Number 10, we have Battlefield Raptor. It's a 1-planes bird that's a 1/2 and has flying to first strike. A 1-mana 1/2 isn't bad baseline stats, and it also has flying and first strike. Personally, I would run this in my Boros deck right now. It's sitting at 3 cents per card. It is a newer set. It's the latest set, actually, from the time of posting this. It's a common, so there's a bunch of copies, but as time goes on, if it's not reprinted or if it's not a challenger deck and it's not including anything else, I think this will be really good in an equipment deck for Boros. First turn, you play Battlefield Raptor, has flying and first strike, so one, you can it essentially has menace, since it has flying, just go over whatever mob, and it has first strike, so if you do block with it, or you do attack with it, and they do have a way to block it with flying or reach or whatever, you can run it in your Boros Embercleave deck. It's a really strong tempo card. I would run it in Commander as well, just as like a nice baseline creature if you are running equipments, auras, and other etc. So I'm going too in depth for this card. It's a really strong 1-drop. I think it's one of the best 1-drops I've seen, and it's for white. So good for them. It's a 3-cent card. For foil, it's 18 cents. It should definitely be worth more in the future. I can't give you a price point because there's so many copies of this card out on the market. Number 9, Orvar the Allform. It's a changeling. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, if it targets one or more other permanents you control, create a token that's a copy of one of those permanents. Whenever a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard this card, you create a token that's a copy of a target permanent that it's a target permanent on the board. It's not what you control. It's just you create a token that's a copy of a target permanent. That's quite interesting. So I didn't really consider it that way. It's 4 mana, 3/3, and it has an interesting mechanic where you can build this as your commander, where when you cast an instant or sorcery spell, that happens to target one of your permanents, which is pretty easy. Some people have found a way to cheese this and maximize most of its value, so I can see it's going up in the future. Right now, it's sitting around $7. I think it's going to continue to go down because Kaldheim has an expected value set, and as the demand goes down and the supply goes up, as the set continues to go through, it's going to go down in price. But in the future, I can see this niche mechanic going up in price just because people would like to make a deck surrounding it as their commander because it's a legendary creature. So that's my take as number 9. Alright, for number 8, we have Finn the Fangbearer. As you guys probably know in Standard already, Finn the Fangbearer is a 2-mana 1/3 Death Touch. Whenever a creature you control Death Touch deals combat damage to a player, that player gets 2 poison counters. Right now, in its showcase frame, it's in at 25 cents. It's an uncommon, and in the foil version, it's 37 cents. I can see this in the short term going easily to $2 each for the showcase foil border. Sorry, I was trying to think of the correct terminology to use there. Right now, it's 37 cents for foil. Are you kidding me? For the showcase version? I get it's an uncommon and all, and a lot of people are opening up collector boxes, and uncommon's not that rare, essentially. This is definitely a short-term gain for you guys to build a small position in the flip, because Finn the Fangbearer is a really strong card. A lot of people are actually running this as their commander and also running it in Standard in a poison deck. It has a very niche mechanic to a player, so you can essentially target any player. Well, if you have multiple opponents in EDH game, you attack different people with your Death Touch minions, and it's really easy in a strong deck, so this is definitely going to go up over time. Alright, number 7 on the list, we have Tyvark. It's a 4-mana Planeswalker card. I'm not a big fan of Planeswalkers. Kaldheim is a little bit mediocre. as a set. It's a lower tier. It's a lower mid tier. I would say it's lower mid tier or more on the lower end. There's no noticeable reprints that's in the set, so we have to go with that. It's a 4 mana, 3 loyalty planeswalker. Elves you control have tap and add swamp. You know, it has a base ability. It's just good for an elves deck. It's not insane. I'm not a big fan of planeswalkers, so right now it's in around $7 for the extended art frame, I believe. I think that sounds about right, or either full art. It's okay. I would run it in a Golgari deck. I believe that's the color terminology name. It's around $7. I think it's gonna go down in the future, but if you want to have a planeswalker in your elves deck, you might as well pick it up. Yeah, so it's all right. I wouldn't pick it up, but it's still on my top 10 list, so let's go with that. Number 6 on the list, we have Burgi, God of Storytelling. You guys probably already heard about this. It's a 3 mana 3/3. Whenever you cast a spell, add 1 red. Until end of turn, you don't lose this mana as steps and phases. And it's kind of like Leyland Tyrant, but a little bit lesser convert mana cost. And creatures you control can boast twice during each of your turns rather than once. The second ability doesn't really matter much. Boasting is kinda shit. It's not that powerful. It was more of a miss, but it's an interesting niche mechanic that they add in. It's a flip card. It actually turns into Harnfell, Horn of Bounty. Discard a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library, and you can play them this turn. It's great for late game. It's not a bad commander. The more important card is whenever you cast a spell, add 1 red. I get mana locked a lot, and I think this fixes that problem where if you want to run multiple colors, you can just essentially run this, and you could just cast some, like, you know, Lotus Petal or something for 0 mana. You can essentially get 2 mana for free, stuff like that. Maybe Simeon Spirit Guide where you exile it when you cast it, stuff like that. Yeah, so a 3 mana 3/3 whenever you cast a spell, add 1 red. It's a really strong card. I can see it's going up in the future. It's around $2 for the showcase border. It'll definitely go up over time. Number 5, Mystic Reflection. Right now, Mystic Reflection is sitting around. It's actually going up in price. It's a very good card. It's a 2 mana instant. Choose target non-legendary creature. The next time one or more creatures or planeswalkers enter the battlefield this turn, they enter as copies of the chosen creature. So that's kind of interesting where you can also foretell this. It's a great card. If you have a random standard already, it's already proven that it's a great card. I think it'll go down in the future as more packs are open and you get rares. I did pull this in my booster box opening, so I'm sure check that out. And there's not really much to say. It's just a strong, great card, and you can synergize it pretty well. All right, number 4, we have Youthful Valkyrie. It's a 2 mana 1/3 flying angel. Whenever another angel enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Youthful Valkyrie. This is a win more card for an angel deck. A 2 mana 1/3 flying is not bad. And whenever you have another angel enter the battlefield, there's a whole angel archetype going on right now in standard, and it's actually a $3 uncommon, which is kind of crazy. I never really expected something like that, to be honest with you, especially for a white card. In a new set? Are you kidding me? That's crazy. That's like the Pitiful Plunder in Rivals of Ixalan. That's the only closest uncommon I can think of right now. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else in the most recent sets other than that. There's a huge demand. I guess it beats the supply right now. So you play this on turn 2. Imagine you have like the Battlefield Raptor they have on the turn before in a pure white deck. Even though it's not an angel, you get like that massive tempo, and you continue your angel archetype and stuff like that. So essentially on turn 2 you get 1/3. The next turn you typically have another angel to play after that. So it's actually a 2 mana 2/4 flying, which is mind-boggling. This is the card that white needed, and it's a really great card. Alright, the third one on our list is Jorn, God of Winter. It's a 3 mana 3/3. Whenever it attacks, untap each no permanent you control. And on the flip side, there is a Kaldring. It's called Kaldring, the Rhyme Staff. That's funny how that phrasing turned out. I'm more interested on the Jorn, the God of Winter card. Untap each snow permanent you control. So if you are running a full snow-covered forest deck, this is insane. I would easily run this. This ability is insane. For the showcase border, it's less than $1. Can you believe that? Yeah, I can see this being speculated on right now. I can see this. It's sitting around 89 cents for a non-foil, and for the foil, it's $3. So in the short term, I can see this going up to $3 to $5. Snag it up if you haven't. If you don't open up sealed boxes, which you shouldn't. Expected value is not there, but if you do not, you should definitely pick up this single to run with. It's a strong ability, and the thing is with effects like these, the more punishing it is for other players, the more that people are unlikely to run it in their deck. People like to value fun, and there's nothing more fun than being able to tap your lands for essentially double the mana. So stuff like Gauntlet of Might and Gauntlet of Power, you essentially just double your mana, whenever it attacks. So yeah, stuff like that. It says attacks, not combat damage, so it's a really strong card. So all right, we're getting down to our last two. The second one, which is, you guys are going to be surprised that's this high on the list. I believe the potential for Dream Devourer is insane. It's a 2-mana 0/3. Each non-land card in your hand without Foretell has Foretell. Its Foretell cost is equal to its mana cost reduced by 2 colorless mana. And essentially, Foretell is, during your turn, you may pay 2 and exile it from your hand face down, cast it on a later turn for its Foretell cost. Whenever you Foretell a card, Dream Devourer gets +2/+0 until end of turn. That's why you're probably wondering why it's a 0/3. So it's sitting around $2 right now for the extended art, and the foil version is $3.50. Dream Devourer is a commander staple in the future. Call me fucking crazy, but I was right about Jessica's Will. It was sitting around $2. This is going to be a $10 to $15 rare in the future. Call me crazy. Okay, so essentially, if you're getting mana fucked in Commander, you can essentially mind game your opponent politically to the point where you can foretell your hand to reduce the mana cost of casting it on a later turn so you don't get screwed. The implication of that in Commander is insane. So if you're running a multicolored black deck, and you can essentially run Dream Devourer in any deck. Each card has Foretell, even when it's not supposed to. So put that into consideration. This is one of, I would put that up there in regards to, there's one card that beats that, but it's just super powerful, and you guys probably already know where it is. So Dream Devourer is definitely S tier. So pick up some copies. Coffee. I need some sleep, bro. So yeah, so pick up some copies, okay, and speculate on it, and I promise you it will work out. If not, give it time. You can't expect to make double, triple, quadruple your money in a short time frame. That's not how markets essentially work. If you do, you get lucky, and a lot of times you're gonna have to sell on products, but there's an inkling in me saying this ability is super powerful, and I could see this being ran in for years to come in Commander. That's just me for black. Okay, the last one, guys. Tergrid, God of Fright. You guys guessed it, probably. It's a 5-mana 4/5 Menace God. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you may put that card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It's a flip card. It flips into Tergrid's Lantern, which is 4 mana. It's an artifact. You tap it to target player loses 3 life unless they sacrifice a non-land permanent or discards a card, and you can pay 4 to untap Tergrid's Lantern each, whatever turn you want, actually. So right now, the Tergrid God of Fright for the showcase is sitting around $6, and the foil's $16. I wouldn't speculate on the foil. I believe this is going to go down over time, but it's going to age pretty well. I won't see such a price depreciation as the set goes on, as much as other cards percentage wise, but this is definitely a top tier card. It's an amazing commander, and it has a really strong ability which you've never seen before. You can essentially make a sacrifice or discard deck and have this as your commander, where whatever they discard, you can have mass sacrifice creature decks and essentially reap all the benefits, and it comes into the battlefield under your control, which is amazing. It's really awesome. So I definitely buy at least one copy of this if you haven't had it already. I don't think it's more of a speculative card. I think it's undervalued, but I believe the power level is there where it still has value, but the power level and possible price appreciation over time as people want this card will definitely go up. So I'd personally pick Dream Devourer over this, but its ability is so strong, it definitely beats Dream Devourer. It's just potential versus actuality of the game. So I'd put Turgor in number 1, and that is my top 10 undervalued cards. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and be sure to subscribe, like, comment down below, give me some feedback, tell me what you guys are thinking is going to go up over time, and thank you guys for watching. Peace.